What's up guys, Eli here, back for a new stuff video. It's all going to be death metal today, which might not surprise you. Oddly enough, I feel like this year I have listened to and bought a lot of death metal, more than maybe any other genre, which is, I don't know if I'd call that weird, but kind of weird. I don't know, I guess I was in a death metal mood this year, so all death metal. It is, what is it, Thursday, kind of just taking a break from work. That's when I've been recording a lot of my videos lately. I'll come home on my lunch break and I'll just, write stuff or I'll record stuff, and it just seems to work out. But anyways, let's get started. I don't have a whole lot. I got one vinyl record, 4 CDs. Let's take a look. Yes, vinyl. It's been a while since I've shown any vinyl here. I don't buy a lot. That's never going to change. I don't like to have too much vinyl. It just takes up too much fucking space. Funerary Pit, death metal from Australia, the Titan Sea. So Funerary Pit, first of all, this is from 2014. This band formed in Australia back in 2006. This is their most recent recording, second of 2 EPs. So here you got members of bands like Denouncement Pyre and Nocturnal Graves, among others. And honestly, sound-wise, that's kind of what it sounds like, but in the best of ways. This sounds like death metal made by Nocturnal Graves and Denouncement Pyre members. It's perfect. It's well written. It's not technical by any means. It's standard death metal with that Australian flavor, of course, that only you can get out of Australia. But it's got little nuances and intricacies that you will pick up on, and it's just so dark. It's brutal. It's just so Australian. This came out on Misaku Unojo Records, a great death metal oriented label out of, was it Spain? I can't remember, but it's a great label. I know that much. What do you get here? Printed inner sleeve. Pretty cool. I don't usually, not only do I not buy a lot of vinyl, I don't usually like to pick up, EPs on vinyl. I usually reserve that for like full lengths, but not that it's important. Black thing, whatever you call it. There's the custom center labels, really cool, actually. So I'll show those. Great death metal. Check it out. Then we have a band I actually talked about recently on my Floridian death metal video, but here we are again because that video got me in the mood to want to finally buy this. We've got Nephobia. Of Hell originally came out in 1995. This is a 2020 Vic Records repress. I assume you're not likely to find the original pressing. I have seen them on Discogs, but go for like over $100. So just get the Vic Records repress. Vic Records always does a great job, except for when they fuck up. Actually, I've never seen Vic Records fuck up, but so the album's called Of Hell. Of Hell. On the spine they put Off Hell. Oops, I'm sure they're aware of it. Anyway, so originally 1995, this band formed in Orlando, Florida. They were active from 89 to 96, and then apparently 2009 to the present day, although founding member and vocalist Nick Chevalier, he passed away in 2017, so I don't know. I imagine that kind of put a hitch in any plans for future material. I don't know. There's some cool facts. If you didn't watch my Floridian video, there's some cool facts about this, like you got Chuck Schuldiner of Death and Gene Hoglan. They both play on this album, not on every track, but they both play on like a track or two, something like that. And if I remember correctly, Chuck actually helped record this, engineer it, something like that. Chuck had a hand in something behind the scenes. I don't remember, but yeah, it's just cool to see those Death guys involved with this, and this is a great album, man. It is just great Floridian death metal. Doesn't sound like Deicide, doesn't sound like Morbid Angel. They do have their own sound. It's really good. As usual, you get a nice, since it's a good repress from a good label, you get a very nice booklet with lots of cool pictures. In fact, there are pictures of Gene and Chuck in here somewhere. Find them yourself. I don't, I think I could see them. But anyways, check it out, man. You can get this cheap on Discogs. I just did. I think I paid $10 for it, maybe less after or before shipping. But definitely check it out, man. It's kind of unsung Floridian death metal. It's great. Then from 2020, we've got Carnation, Where Death Lies. This came out on Season of Mist Records. Belgian death metal. They formed in 2013. This is their second full-length album. Apparently it's a promo copy. I didn't remember that, but I have plenty of hole-punched promo copies in my collection. Doesn't really matter too much. So I had their first album, or I still do. Thought it was pretty decent. It didn't necessarily blow me away, but I saw this in a local record store. I figured I'm going to give them another shot. So they have a more recent album than this that I've actually kind of heard bad things about, but I mean, it depends on who you ask. Pretty stock death metal. I remember I actually haven't listened to this yet. Their debut was kind of Cannibal Corpse sounding, which is fine by me. I did kind of listen to a track or two off this, and I thought it was good. I was kind of hearing some growth in their songwriting and a little bit more variation, as you know a band should do as they grow and get older. But yeah, I haven't heard too much about this album, but I know it's a band that some people like. Carnation, Where Death Lies. I want to say Where Death Dwells, but it's Where Death Lies. You can lie or dwell in death, either way, really. Then we've got Piron with Abscess Time from 2020. This is their fourth and most recent full-length album. Came out on Willowtip Records. So this band formed in 2008 in Brooklyn, New York. They're a death metal band, but they are not at all your typical death metal band. The Willowtip Records connection should kind of tell you that, but yeah, you never know, right? So I remember hearing some of their older stuff. They've always been kind of an experimental style death metal band. It's been a long time at this point. I don't remember their other records too well, but this was a grower for me. I'll admit that, but I knew that going in. I already knew they were a weird death metal band, and they are a weird death metal band. At their core, they're definitely a death metal band, but like you get, in their death metal, you get lots of not typical death metal things. Like you get there's noise rock riffs, stuff you might hear on like an Unsane or a Helmet record. It really does work, but it really does take some, what would you call it? Takes some patience. If you're just into standard death metal, and there's nothing wrong with that, this probably won't work for you. But if you like more experimental death metal, there's a lot to get into here. In fact, I'm still soaking it in and listening to it, and catching on to certain, it's experimental death metal. What else can you call it? They formed in 2008. Did I say that? In Brooklyn, New York. Hey, I'm walking here. All right. There's my Brooklyn impression, being some asshole that's never been even anywhere near New York State. I've seen a lot of movies. Anyways, Piron with Abscess Time. Definitely check it out if you're adventurous. And if you're not, there's nothing wrong with that. But this is a cool fucking album. Then the last one for today, we got Phobophilic with Enveloping Absurdity. This came out in 2022 via Prosthetic Records. This is their debut and only album so far. This band formed in 2016 in Fargo, North Dakota, of all places. I've seen bands out of Fargo. I guess they do have a metal scene, which is cool. So, I went into this. Prosthetic did a really cool job, by the way. The CD looks great. I love the disc. I went into this looking at that cover and the album title, and I read a little bit about it. And I was expecting, kind of that current, I don't want to say trend, but it's kind of a trend. That current, demolish, worship. And you do get a little bit of that on here. But this is, for those of you that are more into, standard death metal, less into weird demolish type stuff, this will probably work for you. To me, this is a band that wants to go in that direction, but maybe not too far. I honestly thought they could have taken it a little bit further, and I would have thought that was really cool. That said, still a good album. For a band that ventures a little into weirdness, but not too far, they're still a young band. We'll see what they do on their next album. I kind of would expect their next album to be a little bit little bit more on the weird abstract side, but we'll see. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but yeah, fans of Demolish, check this out. But for those of you that aren't quite into Demolish type stuff, you could still check it out. I think you'd still enjoy it because it's not that weird. It's still fairly conventional. It's just got a little bit of those, avant-garde kind of sort of tech death, tropes, but definitely a good album. I'd recommend it. Check it out. Phobophilic. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's all I got for you. I got lots of cool stuff in the works as always. Still churning out videos. I'm working on, instead of I'm still gonna do my basic stuff that I've always done, but I'm pushing myself in another direction. I want to go a little bit more creative. I got stuff in the works. One of my next videos is going to be similar to that Floridian death metal video I did, but it's going to be with Norwegian black metal. So for you black metal guys, you might like that, and then I might do one like that for Greece. Got some cool movie reviews coming out. That's honestly what I'm enjoying the most these days, writing film reviews. I still wouldn't say I'm good at it, but I'm proud of a few of the ones that I've done. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing. I hope you guys are doing well, of course. So I appreciate you as always. Let's talk about stuff, and hope you're having a good day. Cheers.